If you're looking to buy a big American pickup truck, or you're looking to replace your Toyota Land Cruiser 200 or 300 series, the Ram 1500 with the Hurricane engine is about as good as it gets at the moment, in my opinion. There's two different variants on sale in Australia at the moment, the Laramie Sport, which is the entry model, what I've got here, and the Limited. They come with different engine tunes. They both feature a 3-litre twin-turbo inline-six. The entry model standard output, or SO, 313 kilowatts, 635 newton meters, while the Limited comes with a HO, the high output version, 400 kilowatts and over 700 newton meters. Even so, this base model is more powerful, more efficient and quicker than the old 5.7 Hemi V8. I've always loved inline sixes, and this one is really nice. I'd love to see Stellantis implant this engine in lots of different models in its range, because like in a sports car, like a rear-wheel drive 2-seater sports car, this engine would be absolutely perfect. But anyway, in the big Ram 1500, it does really well. We'll go for a drive in a minute and I'll show you what it's like. Even though this is the base model, it does come with plenty of features, like it's jam-packed with stuff. This has got more of the chrome detailing and more of a refined look, while the Limited has more black details. But it still comes with 20-inch alloy wheels, although the base model comes with Nexen tyres, while the Limited comes with Performance Pirellis. As standard, it comes with the Rambox storage system, which, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to come up with this sort of stuff, but the rivals don't offer this, and this is otherwise wasted space. It's the side of the tub here, and then you've just got this box that's tucked away, and it's fully sealed as well. We went away on the weekend and I had to buy a whole bunch of bread rolls for the family. I was having like a picnic thing, and my wife didn't want to put them in the car because the kids would probably trample on them. So I thought, you know what, I'll just chuck them in here. We did a bit of a drive on the highway, and it was raining as well, and nothing. There's no water in there, nothing. They say you can put ice in here and put some drinks in it if you want to as well, and treat it like a bit of an esky, although I don't think it would keep them cold, but it would keep it all contained. And then up at the back, you've got an electric tailgate and this nice little partition system. So basically what you do is just twist that, it collapses, and then you can put it anywhere within one of these sort of valleys here. And you can move it around, and you can take it out as well if you want to. This tonneau cover is not, I mean, it's hard and it stays there. You can't access it. It's you know, pretty secure, but I would prefer an electronic one that just rolls back. Like, it's just a little bit fiddly to use. You've got to unclip it on both sides and it folds back. And then, yeah, I just think at this sort of price range, I'd rather just very much total convenience where you just hit a button and it just slides back. Whereas that, you've got to fiddle around with it a little bit. But even so, it is, yeah, fully sealed. The only problem is when you close the, you just need to pull it up just slightly. At the back here, you've got a gap. So if it is pouring down rain, you are going to get water in there. This part is all sealed, like it's got a little rubber seal there. But yeah, I don't know why they've just left that huge gap there. So if it's pouring down, you're going to get water in the tub. And as standard, you also get the pop-out step. So you can use that to jump up on top and grab things out of the back if you want to. Another Rambox storage system on this side as well. There's around 210 litres. I think that's combined. I'll flash up the exact specs now, but 210 litres, you know, that's, I think a Corolla hatchback has around 217 or something. So you've got actual boot space there, which is unique for a pickup truck or ute. Usually, you know, if you've got picking up some groceries, you have to put them inside the vehicle on the back seat and they just roll around. Whereas you can actually use that to pick up light groceries. You know, you might not get the full family shopping in there, but you can definitely use them to, yeah, keep things from floating about. What I love most about the Ram 1500 though is the interior. You've got the pop-out step as well. That's standard even on this base model. So that just pops out every time you open the door and slides back up. But yeah, this interior is just so practical and spacious. It's perfect for a big, long family road trip, towing a caravan or whatever, or even just cruising along without towing anything. You've got so much space. You've got this sliding center console bit, a huge center console box down below as well. It also comes standard with 2 touch screens, so you can actually access that from the passenger side. The driver can't view it because there's kind of like a film over the top. You can only see it sort of perpendicular. And then they can actually use that to set the sat nav and then flick it across to the main screen, which is very, it's clever. So that way the driver doesn't have to worry about stuffing around while they're driving. I really like this touchscreen as well. It's integrated into the dash design. It's not just sort of stuck on like some vehicles do, like it's kind of got this center stack going on. You've got lots of physical buttons around the outside. Let's start it up. Lots of different apps you can play around with as well. Like look at all of that. You go into the vehicle settings, you've got the rear view camera, towing controls and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, there's plenty of little gadgets to play around with, but I do love, yeah, all these physical buttons around the outside. Easily just change the temperature, easily turn the aircon on or off, air recirculation, and you've got proper volume knob as well, tuning knob. Yeah, it's just very, very practical. And look at all of the USB ports down there. Like how could you have that many phones that you need to charge? But I mean, it's wasted space, so why not just chuck in more USB ports? I love this wireless phone charger as well. There's 2 there, and once your phone is sort of locked in there, it's not going to move. That's great because a lot of the wireless chargers in vehicles, they're just a flat sort of surface. You go around a corner and it slides off slightly, and you don't realize when you get to your destination that your phone hasn't been charging, whereas that's going to lock it into place. There's also some storage down the side of the console. And then, yeah, multiple pockets on the doors. It's getting a bit wet there, but yeah, multiple pockets. You've got a little one there and then a huge one down below. You couldn't possibly need more storage or space. And obviously, legroom and headroom is not going to be an issue unless you're a NBA star. This has got the full sunroof as well, and that's standard even on this base model. So that's quite unique for the pickup or ute class, having a full-length panoramic sunroof. It does open that front portion as well. Obviously not a good idea to open it when it's pouring down rain. You've got the boot control, the tailgate control here as well, so you can pop that down from inside the cabin. Then you've got that opening portal in the rear windscreen as well, so that's good if you're backing up to hook up a trailer or whatever. You can yell out to your mates to communicate what you're doing. And then in the back, look how much leg room you have there. Like it's just enormous in the back here. These seats recline as well. You've got a little handle just under here. Pull that up, slide it forward, and then yeah, the backrest kind of tilts backwards and the front piece slides forward a little bit. You've also got a big center console, flip down armrest, some storage, and there's more storage under the floor as well. Just move this back. Neat little tub down here, fully sealed as well, so you can chuck some wet items in there if you want to. There's one on the other side as well. Once you're back here, yep, some more USB ports. You've got about 4 there to choose from. Heated seats on the outer seats, even for this standard or base spec model. Cup holders with adjustable little bubbles there to hold your drinks in. More cup holders in the center console as well. Yeah, if you're planning a big family road trip, this is absolutely perfect for that. Not only that, it's really well made too. Like you would not think that this has been converted from left-hand drive. All of the trim and everything is tightly put together. There's soft touch materials in the important areas. Yeah, even up on the dash here, you've got this kind of leather or leatherette trim. Not much in terms of scratchy plastics. Even the hard plastic that is down here, it's not that really scratchy stuff. It's kind of, yeah, it just feels like a quality material, but it will still, resist scratches and whatnot. We'll go for a drive now, and then we'll do the performance test later on. I already done the performance test yesterday, but I've got to take this vehicle back right now. So I'm going to do the POV test drive as we're taking it back, basically. But it was raining. It was raining yesterday and the day before. It's the only days that I could have timed it. So yeah, it is in the wet. But even so, we'll put it in the 4A mode. It does have low range as well, and a 4H mode, so locking sort of front and rear. But yeah, I'll put it in the 4A mode so we get traction, and it did really well. I'll also do a bit of a comparison or virtual drag race with the V8 Hemi, the last V8 Hemi, just to show you the difference between this base model version and the V8. So if you think, oh, I'm missing out on the V8, I'm missing out on that grunt, you'll see what it looks like, the difference between the two. This engine, it's pretty quiet. Here we go, 100 km/h speed zone. I'll slow down and give it the full. Started to spin a little bit, yep. I've still got it in rear wheel drive, but yeah, if you put it into 4A, you're obviously going to get much more traction and stability, and that's a good thing too. So having the 4 auto mode, you can drive in the wet with the safety and security of 4-wheel drive and not have to worry. Some utes, you can't do that. You've got it, once you put it into 4H, that's basically locking the front and rear axles, and you can't drive, or it's not recommended to drive on tarmac because you can wind up the axles. Whereas this, having the 4 auto, if you go down to the snow or something like that, just hit that button and then you've got 4-wheel drive safety. It goes really well. The engine is quiet, but I actually don't mind the quietness of it. It just, you can barely hear it when you're cruising along. It's better than having fake sounds coming through the cabin, in my opinion. You can hear the finer details of the engine when it's roaring away. They're distant and the volume is low, but it's the genuine sound of the engine rather than fake sounds coming through. And it actually helps with comfort and refinement. As you're cruising along, you can barely hear the engine. It's not until you give it a little bit of power that you just hear this nice refined roar. Yeah, I love this engine. I think it's a great fit for this vehicle. You think 3 litres, maybe a bit small, but trust me, you don't notice it at all. It's got instant torque, plenty of it as well, more torque than the V8. I don't think there's any problem with this inline 6 at all. Obviously, you know, the V8 sound does help enhance the driving experience, and in a big vehicle like this, it kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? Having a burbling, thumping V8 soundtrack in the background. Even if it is a little bit slower or whatever, and choose a bit more fuel, there's definitely some soothing comfort in having a V8. But, you know, this does chew a lot less fuel and it's quicker, so it's hard to complain or argue against it. Out on country roads, it's obviously, the size is not a problem. If you're driving this in the city all the time, I think that's maybe a little bit ridiculous, because yeah, it takes up a lot of room in car parking spaces. It's over 2 meters wide, and yeah, it's very long as well. So I wouldn't recommend doing that, although you can. It's just not going to be as sort of comfortable or as zippy as a mid-size ute like a Ranger or Hilux or whatever. But down through this tight hairpin, I don't feel like I'm driving a big bus and I'm like, oh, you know, watch out for the, you know, rear end there. Like, it just feels like a normal car. It doesn't feel like a big truck. So you can take this on a nice touring trip, and if you encounter roads like this, you don't have to worry. Up through here, I'll push it a bit harder than normal. It's turning in just fine. That long wheelbase does actually help with stability as well. It's not as agile as some utes, but oops, bit of wheel spin. Yeah, that's fine. I could take this for a drive on a winding road and have some enjoyment. In terms of fuel economy, I'm averaging around 13, I think. I'll just flick it over to, oh, that's over a distance of 2,000 kilometers. That wasn't all me. I've done about 1,000 kilometers. So I don't know how the previous driver, you know, what sort of conditions the previous driver was in. 13.2 I still think is pretty good for a big vehicle like this. But yeah, the official rating is 10.7. I reckon in the real world you could get about 11.5, no problem, in kind of, you know, combined conditions, a bit in the suburbs and a bit out in the country like this. If you're driving in the city only, I think that's going to be, yeah, a bit more higher, like 13 or 14 or something like that. One of the main attractions to a big vehicle like this is the towing ability, and not just the figures, but vehicles that are kind of big, large, big footprint, wide and long, and quite heavy, are usually better at towing because they remain very stable and sure-footed when you're carrying or towing a heavy trailer. Even though this is the next generation model, it does carry over the same ladder frame chassis as the old V8 model, so you've got proper heavy duty capability under there. But if you are looking to do lots of heavy towing, then the Laramie Sport entry model is the pick over the Limited because of, well, mainly because of the air suspension, but this is rated at 4.5 tons, while the Limited is rated at 4.2. Still very heavy, but yeah, if you're after absolute extreme, then this is going to be the pick. Also, the gross combination mass of this Laramie Sport is higher. This is rated at around 7.7 tons gross combination, while the Limited is around 7.1, 7.2 tons. This is also lighter in weight, so that doesn't eat into the GVM and GCM as much. The GVM is the same across both. It's about 3.5 tons. So this being lighter, you're left over with more payload once you hook up a heavy trailer, but also even just as standard, you're left with more payload before you run into the GVM. But for an example, if you hook up a 4.5 ton trailer, you've got to put around 450 kilograms onto the tow ball download, which becomes part of the GVM. You're left with around 408 kilograms of payload. So 408 kilograms for passengers and any gear you want to throw in the back. That leftover figure is smaller with the Limited, and that's at 4.2 tons, remember. So this is towing 4.5. But not only that, I don't think many people tow at maximum 4.5 tons. If you want to tow like a 3-ton caravan, which is a big heavy caravan, dual axle, or even 3.5 tons, you're going to have 1,000 kilograms left over. And that's where this sort of really pushes ahead of the rivals. It's like comparing, and I don't mean to pick on the BYD Shark here, but that's rated at 2.5 tons, and people say, well, you've still got plenty of payload left over. But you're only towing 2.5. So if you grab a Triton, D-Max, or Hilux or whatever, that's rated at 3.5 tons or thereabouts. If you hook up a 2.5 ton trailer, you're going to be left over with 1,000. So you've got much more left over by going with something like this, even if you aren't at the maximum 4.5 tons. I think that's the big positive or the big attraction to a vehicle like this. All right, let's head out now and do the performance test. I mean, it would have been great if I'd done it today, nice and clear and sunshine and dry road. But anyway, let's jump to that now. And as I said, I'll show you the difference between the V8 and this base model 3-litre Hurricane engine.